Quinton "Rampage Jackson is a legendary name in combat sports, famous for his explosive fighting style and larger-than-life personality. Born in Memphis, Tennessee, Rampage rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most recognizable faces in mixed martial arts. His journey to the top was marked by grit, determination, and a relentless drive to succeed, earning him fans all over the world. He's a former UFC champion and a star in organizations like Pride FC and Bellator, known for his aggressive, crowd-pleasing approach. Rampage's fights were never just about winning. They were about putting on a show, delivering highlight reel knockouts, and keeping audiences on the edge of their seats. His battles with some of the sport's biggest names are still talked about today, cementing his legacy as a true icon. Rampage isn't just a fighter, he's an entertainer, instantly recognizable for his trademark howl and heavy chain. His unique persona made him a fan favorite, and his charisma outside the cage was just as powerful as his punches inside it. Whether he was hyping up a crowd or engaging in playful banter with opponents, Rampage always knew how to command attention. His fame extends beyond the cage, with appearances in movies and TV, making him a true celebrity. Rampage starred in blockbuster films like The A-Team and made guest appearances on popular television shows, further expanding his reach and influence. He became a crossover star, admired by both fight fans and mainstream audiences alike. With that level of fame, the public pays close attention to both his career and his family. Every move he makes, both inside and outside the ring, is watched by millions. His family often shares the spotlight, and their lives are frequently covered by the media, adding another layer to Rampage's public persona. When something happens involving the Jackson family, it quickly becomes headline news. The media is quick to report on any developments, and fans are eager to know every detail. This intense scrutiny means that even personal matters can become public discussions, especially when controversy is involved. Recently, Rampage's son, Raja Jackson, was at the center of a serious incident that drew attention from both MMA and wrestling communities. Raja, following in his father's athletic footsteps, has already made a name for himself as a promising young competitor. But this time, it wasn't his skills that made headlines. It was a shocking event that no one saw coming. This story isn't about a championship win or a viral interview. It's about a dangerous moment that blurred the line between entertainment and real violence. The incident left spectators stunned and raised important questions about safety and sportsmanship in youth competitions. It's a reminder that even in the world of sports, things can take a serious turn in an instant. Understanding Rampage's public life helps explain why this incident became such a major topic of discussion. His status as a sports legend and celebrity means that any controversy involving his family is magnified, sparking debates and drawing reactions from fans, media, and fellow athletes around the world. The incident happened at Knokx Pro Wrestling, a California-based promotion where up-and-coming wrestlers chase their dreams. These shows are intimate, passionate, and streamed live to fans worldwide. On this night, the crowd expected scripted drama and athletic storytelling. One of the featured wrestlers was Stewart Smith, known as Syko Stu, a trained professional, skilled in keeping matches safe and entertaining. Wrestling relies on cooperation and careful choreography, even when outsiders like celebrities get involved. Raja Jackson, Rampage's son, was set to participate in the show, adding extra buzz. Crossovers like this can be fun, but they demand clear communication and planning. The stage was set for a typical night until things went terribly wrong. What should have been a harmless storyline turned into a real-life crisis. The line between performance and reality was about to be shattered. Earlier that day, tensions flared when Stewart Smith reportedly struck Raja Jackson in the head, an incident that would set the tone for everything that followed. The blow, whether intentional or not, sent shockwaves through the locker room, with whispers spreading among the athletes and staff. Some believed it was just part of the rough-and-tumble world of wrestling, while others sensed something more personal brewing beneath the surface. Whether by accident or design, it left Raja visibly upset and shaken. He sat quietly on the bench, replaying the moment in his mind, his frustration simmering just below the surface. The tension was palpable, and those around him could feel the storm brewing. The plan was for Raja to get payback in the ring, a classic wrestling trope meant to entertain, not injure. The script called for a dramatic but harmless confrontation, a chance for Raja to reclaim his pride in front of the crowd. Rampage Jackson, a veteran of the sport, believed it was all part of the show, a scripted moment gone awry. He watched from the sidelines, confident that the athletes would stick to the plan and deliver a memorable performance. When Raja entered the ring, the audience expected a staged confrontation, maybe a shove or a few fake punches. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, eager to see how the drama would unfold. Instead, the situation escalated rapidly. What was supposed to be a controlled sequence quickly spiraled out of control, catching everyone off guard. The controlled environment of wrestling gave way to something raw and dangerous. Security and referees rushed to intervene, but the chaos was already unleashed. Raja's revenge was supposed to be a safe, scripted spot, a moment of catharsis for both the athlete and the audience. But what unfolded was a shocking, unscripted act of violence. The line between performance and reality vanished in an instant, leaving everyone in disbelief. The plan for a simple angle collapsed in seconds. Referees frantically tried to restore order, but the damage was already done. The audience and viewers at home witnessed a real assault, not a performance. Gasps and cries echoed through the arena as the reality of the situation set in. The wrestling community was left stunned. Backstage, athletes and commentators struggled to process what they had just seen, their faces etched with disbelief and concern. A moment meant for entertainment became a nightmare, one that would haunt everyone involved for a long time to come. Raja Jackson stormed the ring, his face twisted with rage, abandoning any pretense of a wrestling act. The energy in the arena shifted instantly. What was supposed to be a spectacle of athleticism and showmanship suddenly felt unpredictable and dangerous. Raja's body language was unmistakable. This was no longer about entertainment or scripted drama. He was there to make a statement, and everyone watching could sense that something was about to go terribly wrong. Without warning, he seized Stewart Smith, lifting him high above his head and slamming him violently to the mat. This was no choreographed move, no carefully planned stunt for the crowd's enjoyment. The sound of Smith's body hitting the canvas echoed through the arena, silencing the audience in an instant. The impact was brutal, and Smith hit the mat hard, his body crumpling awkwardly. The shock was visible on his face, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still as everyone tried to process what had just happened. Raja then mounted Smith, unleashing a relentless barrage of MMA-style punches to his head. Each blow landed with sickening force, blurring the line between sport and real violence. The crowd's cheers turned to horrified gasps as the attack continued. Over 20 unanswered strikes landed before anyone could intervene. Referees and officials scrambled into the ring, desperately trying to pull Raja away, but the damage had already been done. Smith was left motionless, defenseless on the canvas, his body limp as medical staff rushed to his side. The sight was haunting, a stark reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control. The crowd and officials were paralyzed by shock, slow to react to the sudden violence. Some fans covered their mouths in disbelief, while others shouted for help, unable to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Wrestling is built on trust and safety. Raja shattered both in a matter of seconds. The ring, once a place of controlled competition, now felt like a crime scene. The live stream captured every second, and the footage spread instantly online. Within minutes, clips of the incident were circulating on social media, sparking outrage and disbelief across the wrestling community and beyond. The festive atmosphere vanished, replaced by horror and concern for Smith's well-being. Fans who had come for excitement now found themselves witnesses to a shocking act of real violence. Raja's actions crossed every boundary of wrestling etiquette and safety. He ignored the unspoken rules that protect athletes and ensure the show can go on. He brought real, uncontrolled violence into a world that depends on cooperation, trust, and mutual respect between competitors. The consequences of such a betrayal are profound. The consequences were immediate and severe. Raja Jackson was suspended indefinitely, and the wrestling world was left to grapple with the fallout of a night that would never be forgotten. As the attack ended, panic swept the arena. Medical staff rushed to Stewart Smith, who lay unconscious and unresponsive. The event stopped cold. This was no longer entertainment, but a medical emergency. Smith was stabilized and rushed to the hospital, his condition uncertain. News of his injuries spread quickly, alarming fans and fellow wrestlers. The community feared the worst, especially given the severity of the head trauma. Hours later, Rampage Jackson provided a crucial update. Smith was awake and stable in the hospital. Relief was tempered by the gravity of what had happened. The road to recovery would be long, and the incident left deep scars on everyone involved. The wrestling world was forced to confront the real dangers lurking behind the spectacle. As the video went viral, Rampage Jackson responded publicly the next day. He condemned his son's actions, making it clear he did not support the violence. Rampage explained that the incident was supposed to be a scripted work gone wrong and admitted to poor judgment and miscommunication. He expressed deep concern for Stewart Smith's health, offering apologies to Smith, the fans, and the streaming platform. Rampage's statement was one of responsibility and empathy, not excuses. He tried to provide context, but didn't deflect blame. His response set a tone of regret and accountability in the aftermath. Raja Jackson, 25, is an amateur MMA fighter with a 4-0 record, but he's not a professional wrestler. MMA and wrestling are fundamentally different. One is real combat, the other is performance. Raja's instincts are to fight, not to cooperate for entertainment. Rampage later revealed Raja had suffered a concussion days before the event. He should not have been involved in any physical activity, let alone a wrestling angle. A concussion can impair judgment and increase aggression, adding a troubling layer to the incident. This raised serious questions about why Raja was allowed to participate at all. The event organizers' decision-making came under scrutiny. The situation was a failure of judgment on multiple levels. The video of the attack spread rapidly across social media, shocking millions. The wrestling community condemned Raja's actions, emphasizing the sacred trust of performer safety. Journalists and fans called it one of the worst incidents ever seen in a ring. The MMA world was equally disturbed, noting that Raja's use of real fighting techniques was reckless and damaging to the sport's reputation. Both communities united in support for Stewart Smith and in their outrage over the breach of safety. The incident sparked a wider debate about the responsibilities of promotions, athletes, and the dangers of blurring entertainment with real violence. It became a cautionary tale far beyond wrestling and MMA circles. The Knokx Pro incident is a stark reminder of the importance of safety and clear communication in sports entertainment. When the lines between performance and reality blur, the consequences can be devastating. Raja Jackson's actions were a failure of judgment, but the event's organizers also failed in their duty of care. Rampage Jackson's public apology showed how to take responsibility and prioritize the victim's recovery. This story underscores the need for professionalism, respect, and strict safety protocols in all combat sports. The trust between performers is sacred, and when it's broken, the fallout is real. Hopefully, Stewart Smith recovers fully, and the lessons learned prevent future tragedies. The ultimate goal must always be to entertain and compete, without causing real harm.